Today I'm going to show you how to use the Woodware Clear Magic stamps. Once you get your stamp home, it comes in a clear plastic sleeve, and the easiest way to get into that sleeve is to cut the top off, because this will act as a really good storage pocket for you as well. And then you can go inside, take out your stamp and peel off the back sheet first, and when it's new, the stamp really does stick to its second film that also has an outline printed on it of the image. So you need to peel that off carefully and slowly so as not to damage the stamp. By peeling off the backing without moving the stamp too much, you can take it off really easily. This is only because it's new. Once you've used it, it doesn't stick so much, but it still keeps its sticky back. So there I've got it on the back off the backing sheet, and you'll see I've still got an image on there, which is actually quite useful for positioning on a card if you're planning something. So now we're going to stick it onto a block, and I have a large clear acrylic block here. So you need the right size block for the right stamp size. So we're going to stick it on like that. If you want to, you can actually place the stamp face down on your work surface, so the stamping outline is face down, and you can pick your block up and stick it onto your stamp like that and pick it up. By doing that, you avoid any little bits that perhaps will bend as you do it manually, because you can actually curve this slightly, and it depends on the stamp that you're using. You may have small pieces coming off it that can easily bend and not be straight. So by doing it upside down like that, you can then make sure that those pieces are all in the position they're supposed to be in. So now that I've got my acrylic block ready, I'm going to stamp it onto a piece of white card. I like to hold my large block landscape size, because it's easier to grip the block that way. It has little ridges at the side, and it's quite difficult to hold it like that, I think, because your fingers are underneath it. You've got more control if you're holding it like that. You might find it also very useful to use a stamping pad if your surface is a little bit uneven. This has a little bit of give to it, which allows a good the stamp to actually sort of touch the paper really well, rather than be any lumps and bumps that are in your tabletop. So we're going to ink up our stamp. Just tapping lightly by bringing the ink pad directly to the stamp, not the stamp to the ink pad. Trying not to get it onto the acrylic block, and I've actually purposely put a little bit of ink on one corner just to show you that you just need to wipe that off before you stamp your image, so that you don't get that onto your background. So as I said, we'll turn it on its side, landscape, and stamp your image, and you can move the block around to get the good position. Just because it's on the block like that, the block doesn't have to be straight. You can tilt it at any angle that you like, and then we'll just stamp our image, pressing down gently but steadily all over the image area, making sure that it has good contact with that piece of card. It may stick to the card as you take your stamp off, but you can peel it off really gently and you have a perfect image, like so. Now that you've stamped your image on your card, it's time to clean up your stamp, because if you keep them clean and look after them, they'll last for a long, long time. So I'm using a wet wipe to gently wipe off the ink that's on the surface, and then that peels off your block. Again, do it carefully. take the packaging, make sure you got it the right way round, place it back on your packaging, and use the backing sheet to put back over that as well to keep it dust free and clean, and then it can go back into the envelope that it came in. And remember, we cut the top off, which makes a handy pocket for you to put that back inside for easy storage. When you're using blocks, you've got different thicknesses and different sizes, so you need to choose the right block for the right size stamp. There's no point in having a stamp that hangs over the side of the block. Here's a small text stamp, so I'm going to use a smaller block. This one is probably too small because you've got bits coming off the edge of the block, so you want something that will hold the stamp neatly in the middle. And again, I like to work landscape so that you can position it nice and straight on that block. And again, you just wipe it with a wet wipe, put it back in the packaging, and it'll keep like that really well.